Morning. I know, it's a bit early for a rant, don't you think? Feels a little early for a rant on a Thursday, but it's my Friday, so I'm gonna rant. I am so tired of people. How do I put this? I'm in a discussion on Facebook right now. I am so sick of people telling me what I'm supposed to think and what they think I'm supposed to think. It's like, shut the hell up. You know? There you go. I think it's crazy. We live in such a weird time right now, and everybody wants to blame somebody. And I am just so tired of the whole thing. People don't understand. This is my opinion, it's my page, and that's just the way it is. And if people don't agree with me, I don't give a shit. And you don't have to listen. You can go somewhere else. But nobody cares about the party system anymore, except for the party. The rest of it just wants somebody to do their damn job. And whether Paul Ryan retires, I don't care. It doesn't affect my daily life. I have to make a living, and the only thing getting in my way is a bunch of liars who are in Congress, who don't do their job and are not doing the right thing. And then I got people screaming at me because they want me say that I don't care. Well, guess what? I do care. I care a lot, and so do a lot of other people. And the thing is, you don't get to tell me that I don't care. Oh God, I could just go on. I'll tell you what, there's an uprising in this country, and it's the middle. It's all of us in the middle. We don't give a shit about Republicans. We don't give a shit about Democrats. We don't care what they think or what they're doing. I don't care what the media tells me. I don't care what the media says is happening. I don't trust any of them. I don't have trust issues. I'm smart. I've paid attention. I've watched what happens. Somebody was talking on here about Kate Brown and how she's now the governor, and because people didn't do this or that or this or that. I ran against her. And you know what people do? Here's what people do. So people then gave me $5,000, and then they give her $5,000 because they want to hedge their bets. So whoever wins, they think they can kiss their ass. I was shocked. I didn't know that's how it worked. Of course, I was naive when I went in, but I was shocked. It's like, that's how this whole damn thing works? So you're not really loyal to me, and then you're trying to buy me? And that's how this is going to work? So why do you think it doesn't work? It's because nobody's really loyal to one another in this system. Nobody really has, they didn't care that I really did give a shit about people's voice and that people should be heard. They didn't care that. They just wanted somebody who was a Republican at the time, I'm not anymore, to be in office. They could have given a crap about me. They didn't like me at all. I was too liberal for them. Because I'm a moderate. I am a moderate. I'm a guy who sits right in the center. And you can tell me I sit on the fence, but you're full of crap if that's what you think. I'm not a fence sitter. I got balls, and I do things, and I have opinions. But I'm also a human being, and I understand that there are people that think different than me. There are people who don't agree with me. And if I'm going to come up with something that's going to work for people, I have to compromise. I know, it's such a nasty, horrible, terrible word. Good God. Are you married? You have to compromise in your marriage. I have to compromise in my work. I have to compromise with people that I work with. Compromise is not a bad thing. It's how we work together. Now, the problem in Oregon is we are a bunch of independent people. We are independent thinkers. It's a wonderful thing. It's an awesome thing. But the problem with being an independent thinker is, think about the pioneers and who came out here. These were kind of troublemakers. These were kind of people that didn't fit into culture and society, and they were looking for something new. They wanted that freedom. So when we come out here, people that tend to be individualistic, we're not as workable with other people. So we tend to think we know everything and other people aren't going to work. So that's the thing we have to overcome as people in Oregon. But the other thing is, don't let people tell you what to think. God, you have a brain, you have opinions, and you don't have to scream them like I'm doing right now. I'm just irritated because people, I laid my ass on the line and ran for public office, and I saw the truth. I saw what was happening. And I will never trust this system. This system sucks and it doesn't work, and that's why we ended up with Donald Trump. So the very people criticizing all this are the same people who are continuing to do the same thing, and we're going to end up with another Donald Trump or something maybe even worse. Whether you're a Trump supporter or not, it doesn't really matter. It's like people weren't looking for, they weren't voting for a Republican. They were voting for somebody who's outside the system. Am I thinking they did 100% the right thing? Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it works. I do know that my taxes next year are going to be a lot better in my life, but I'm not a big fan. But anyway, that's why we get it. Get away from that system. If we just take it away from that, get Trump out of the picture. So it's not about Trump. It's about people are looking for somebody who's outside the box, who doesn't do what Paul Ryan and all these idiots are doing, or Nancy Pelosi and all these people. They're out for themselves. That's what they're out for. They're not out to help people. They're not out to serve their country. These people are out for themselves, and they don't care about the American people. They care about their agenda. And I, for one, am just done with that. I am done. I'm not paying attention to them. Somebody came on here and I said, we don't care. And they said, oh, and that's the problem. When you don't care, then you're not doing it. We're not apathetic. And we care about our country and we care about people. What we don't care about is your politics. Wake up. We don't give a shit about your Democrat or Republican agenda. We don't care. We don't care about you. We care about, I don't mean that way. We don't care about, if you want to get off your bandwagon, that's what we care about. We care about doing things that are going to solve some problems in this country. And I don't care if it's Billy Mack. I don't care if it's John Lennon returning from the dead. I don't care if it's Donald Trump. Whoever's going to do it and make this a better place for people to live, so we can have a working wage, so that we can have housing for people, so that we can treat our country the way it should be treated and the people the way it should. That's who I'm going to support. I'm not going to support your person because they have a frickin' R or a D in front of their name. And if I see one more bumper sticker that says, I vote Democrat, I vote Republican, I'm going to vomit. Because what that tells me is, I don't have a brain, I just follow what everybody else does. That's what we need less of. We need fewer people just following the party line, and people who are going to say, you know what, I think the Democrats have some pretty damn good ideas. Or you know what, I think that the Republicans might have a good idea. And I can put my little, oh God, I could go, put your envy away and start working. See that guy right there, Mark Hatfield? That's my idol. Next to Jesus Christ, that's the guy that is my guy. That man did so many things outside the box. He was a Republican that Republicans didn't like. He worked with Democrats. He had Wayne Morse, a staunch Democrat from Oregon, a great guy, support him for the Senate because he was against the Vietnam War. Not when it was popular to be against the Vietnam War, but back when 70% of Oregonians said, we support the war, Mark Hatfield had the kahunas to stand up and say, this is bullshit, and I'm not supporting the war. And Wayne Morse then, as a Democrat senator, went against his party and supported him, and Mark Hatfield won. That is what we're looking for. That is the man or woman we are looking for. No more of these testicleless, overly-less people who are in there doing the things for themselves. It's about them. I want somebody who's a public servant like Wayne Morse, who, there, just so you know, that's the guy right there. That guy right there. Wayne Morse, right here from Eugene, Oregon. Him and Senator Mark Hatfield, who did things for the state and for what they believed in. And even though people didn't disagree with them, they still did their thing. That's what we're looking for. So for those of you who think and are now writing me private messages because I'm calling it out, whatever. I don't care. You know what? I'm not going to be silent about this anymore. And it's like, I'm going to stand up for, why can't we as people in Oregon stand up for the things that we believe in? And, oh God, you know what? And I love this. Because I think what scares people more than anything, I think what scares the parties more than anything, is that there are a whole bunch of people, a growing surge in the middle, and we scare them to death. They do not like the middle, and they call us names, and they want to tell us we can't make up our mind. When I ran for office, people would literally tell me that you have to get on one side or the other. And I go, what? So you get to tell me that I have to get on one side or the other or I'm not making up my mind? Bullshit. Bullshit. I don't have to get on your side or anybody else's side. My mind is made up. I'm right here. I'm right here. So you go far to your right and you go far over to your left, and pretty soon you're going to look around and realize that nobody cares about you or your message. They're not listening. And there's going to be this growing membership of people in the middle who are going, you know what? I just want to work with people. I want to make this a good country for everybody. Everybody, not just my party. So Paul Ryan, go ahead and resign. It's not going to change my day. I got to go make a living today anyway. PG-13. I think bullshit's in the PG-13 level. Heather, I hate labels too. You know what? It's like whenever you see what happens, here's what a label is. It's a distraction. So people start putting labels on you when they want to put you in a box to silence you. So they start calling you an L or an R or a fence sitter or this or that. It's bullying. And we wonder where our kids learn it. They learn it from social media, looking at adults and their parents and what they're doing on here. I hate it because what it does is it just takes the conversation in the whole wrong direction. If you want to get something done, then we have to stick to the issue. So if we're going to talk about abortion rights or anti-abortion, then let's talk about that. If we're going to talk about guns and whether we want gun control, more gun control, or less gun control, then let's talk about that. If we want to talk about taxes, let's talk about taxes. But see, what ends up happening is there's a big messaging group. You guys got to go see Chappaquiddick. It is a fascinating movie. It's about Ted Kennedy and a situation that happened back in the 60s. But when you watch that movie, you really start to see some of the games that are played behind the scenes that we never know till 40, 50 years later. And I think a bunch of us in the middle are getting wise to it. And we're not. I don't trust them. And I'm not a Donald Trump or I hate the media. But what I hear is when I stop listening and start really researching for myself, I hear a whole lot of other messages. And when I hear it from the media, all I'm hearing is a very specific thing, and they're all saying the same thing. It's like a bunch of parrots. And I'm not into listening to birds. I am going to go do a show today at noon on birds of prey, but those are people taking care of animals who've been injured, and it matters. but in terms of listening to people parrot a message and how much of what they're hearing, what you're hearing off of that becomes the message. You got all these PR people in the background working, going, okay, what will they say? We want them to buy into this, so let's do this. And that's what they do. And then we buy it. All of a sudden, we have these strong opinions, but when you really start pushing people, so where did you get that? They don't know. So we need to start knowing and where that's coming from. So anyway, I guess that's my rant. If you agree with me, great. If you don't, great. Do you think I'm full of crap? Great. Because I probably am. If you think I'm a fence sitter, BS. If you think I don't care, you're so wrong and you don't get it. You totally are out to lunch if you think I don't care. Do you think you can bully me into doing what you think I should do? Never. Do you think I'm going to shut up? No. Do you think you can make my life miserable? Probably. Will I ever run for public office again? Never. Will I continue to work on this background to make sure that the people of Oregon and people in the middle have a voice? Always, and never will I stop doing that. You'll never silence me unless you kill me. So do your thing, have your conversations. But if you're going to start telling me I don't care, and I did say in the comment, I said, we don't care about what you are doing, but I care about what's going on in Oregon. And that's why I don't care about what you're doing. I don't think life is black and white. That's right. Angela, I will guarantee you, I will never shut up. And I don't want you to either. I am not your voice. You are your own voice. But we need to start paying attention to things in this place that matter. Stuff that matters, like what the work that St. Vincent de Paul's doing to take care of people. You know, like I was at a smart reading program yesterday where they're taking older folks, matching them with kids who just need somebody to be with them, and working together. And these kids, the little girl that we did this story on, she went home and told her babysitter, I had so much fun talking with Rick today. She got a voice. We need to focus on the good stuff that's going on and stop worrying about Paul Ryan and what everybody out there is telling us is going to happen, or what the Clintons are doing, or what Obama's saying today, because all of it's scripted, all of it's planned, it's manipulation at its finest, and I'm done. And I hope you're done too. Schools like A3, Victoria, that's a whole nother topic. You're right. There's value going on in those schools, A3, and we need to make sure that that continues. I would love to see Greg and Rick dual rant. Michelle, actually, Greg and Rick are going to do a show together. We're working on it to do something where we will go to lunch. We're going to do some food thing, but we probably will do a rant in the middle of that. So anyway, again, I just, I think, well, I wonder if I can do this, Greg. I can try. Boom. I'm inviting Greg on here, so we're going to see if we can get him on. You guys just don't let him tell you to be quiet.
What's up, Rick?
Hey, Stud, how are you?
I was loving your rant.
Well, I was on a page this morning and made a few comments, and then people start judging and making comments back. I mean, a few of them are on here, so I'm being careful. They're watching me. But I hate when people say that I don't care, because I said I don't care, but I don't care about what your politics are. And
I'm right there with you. 100%.
Yeah.
People throw me into a box all the time, and I don't fit in that box.
No, and why can't I say what I support without people then trying to put me into a category and then say, oh, you're a Trump supporter, or you're an Obama supporter because you believe this. It's like I think that's just deflecting again, trying to stick you in a box so that they can discount your position.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know why people are so afraid to disagree with people either. I don't get what that, I mean, in a kind way.
Right. Well, what I found is there's two voices. There's voices out there like ours that try to be politically correct for the most part and try and hold on one second. All right, Katana, see you later. Dropping my daughter off at school. But we try.
Oh, you mean so you just live a really regular life? But don't you have a tattoo parlor, so you wouldn't have kids and do a regular life kind of thing?
Right. Yeah. No, I'm a horrible person.
And you must be like a super liberal dude, and you would never care. I mean, it's just on and on and on.
It goes on forever. People like to label everybody, but have a lack of getting to know somebody. Some of my most extreme liberal friends, we side with. Some of my most extreme right-wing friends, I side with. It's there has to be a middle ground.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think I don't pick. I think most of us don't pick our friends for what they believe.
Hell no.
No.
If that was the case, I would have no friends.
Yeah, me either. Who does that? I mean, you select people because they care about things,
Right. I will say this, Rick. I have in the last few years, honestly, since Obama and beyond, politically, I've lost a lot of friends because of politics, even though they should look past that. I haven't really unfriended people that are different than me, but I have been unfriended because they don't like my views on guns or whatever it may be. So
Right.
We're in a really politically charged environment now.
Right. I refuse to do that. I can't.
Right.
I can't pick my friends based on their. You know, if what drives me crazy is we've become the most tolerant, intolerant people.
Right.
We tolerate you as long as you agree with me.
Right.
So, or we hang out with other white people, or other people that look like us, or the people with the same sexual orientation.
Yep.
You know, so that way we feel good about who we are, and it's like that is so ridiculous because how do you ever learn? I have never picked my friends based on sexual orientation, what church they went to, whether they went to church, whether they're Jewish,
right,
Black, Hispanic, marijuana users. People, you know, those horrible people with tattoos.
I hate those people the most. I mean,
you didn't hear me, Greg. I said, you know, those horrible people.
I heard you. I hate those people the most. No, I heard you 100%. You know, it's funny that people, they, you know, it's like being a selective bigot. Really, is they really they choose to like only what fits in their bubble, and so they'll be a bigot to everybody else. So and it happens even like with people of color or people of a different sexual orientation. They'll choose to only surround themselves with those people, and they think everybody else is out to get them. Which is
right. Well, I think we all tend to do that to a degree, and it's like, but the nice thing with my life, for me, just personally, I think I've been doing this so long that I already know who hates me. And the funny thing is, they still hang out here because they want to hate me. So I'm giving them purpose.
Sure.
But it's just, it drives me crazy. But this morning I just had it because I was on this page. They're nice people, but it kind of, I really believe, okay, so I'll tell you a funny story. So a candidate, a guy who's, I should already kind of let something out. Somebody who's running for a very high office in Oregon wants me this person wants me to endorse them. And I said, well, I don't want to endorse anybody because then it's going to look like I care about a party. And I'm not sure that I really want to vote for you anyway, because I don't really like everything that you believe in.
Right.
So, but this person said, but isn't that better than Kate Brown? And I'm not a big fan of Kate's as governor. I don't like a lot of things she's done. But I'm not willing to put my neck out for somebody just because they want me to do that. And so I said, no, I'm not going to endorse anybody because then you ruin where I'm at. I'm in the middle and I don't want to be supportive of a Democrat or a Republican. I may vote for one of the two, or I may vote for Kate's opponent.
Right.
But I don't have to tell anybody. Oregon still has a secret ballot, so it's really no one's. People were asking me after the presidential election, so who'd you vote for? And I said, I don't have to tell you. It's a secret ballot in Oregon. Oh, you just don't want people to know. You must have done this. And I'm going, no, you don't get to know. I don't have to tell you. And I think we've forgotten that whole thing that sometimes, there's honor in just keeping your mouth shut and where you stand on certain things. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and I think
agree.
we could do a lot more of that.
Yeah, even in my family, take me and my wife, for instance, when it came to voting time, I voted for my platform, and my wife was so nervous about what people would think of who she would pick. She ended up not picking anybody, which ultimately doesn't matter for the big race. But people are so concerned with being left or right or whatever. They can't feel comfortable in the middle, and that's really like what you said earlier. That's the politician's big plan is push you one way or the other. Not you just be a drone for them.
Right. Sally's commenting on here. Sally, I agree. Sometimes keeping your mouth shut, but here's what I would say. Can I just add on to that? And I'm not correcting you, Sally. I think there's a great line out of the Bible that says, only a fool tells all he knows. And I think that's a great thing to live by. You don't have to go throwing everything out there to people because it's like throwing pearls to pigs. You know, they don't understand it's a pearl. They just swallow it and poop it out the other end. They don't know what it was. So sometimes you give your information to people and they're not going to use it, you know, in a great way. So I think what it is, but what I would go back and correct just a little bit is never keep your mouth shut in terms of what you believe in your heart. I think we should be sharing that in kindness, okay? So that means I don't go to people and say, you know what? I think everybody should love Rick Dancer. He should be the greatest guy in the whole world. Instead, it's like, this is what I think. What do you think? Let people in and do their kind of thing.
Yeah, everybody. It's important that everybody has a voice. That's why I was excited when we talked about, even though we're just going to do something about food. I mean, I'm very vocal about, you know, I like to eat. I'm a fat kid, but when it comes to going across the board on any subject, whether it be politics or your favorite restaurant, you should have a voice. You should feel comfortable expressing yourself, but not bully the people on the other end.
Right.
You know, like
right.
I hate, you know, just to soften it up a little bit, I hate seeing a restaurant get reviewed and just get hashed on for something that's really beyond their control,
right.
stuff like that. But if I go to a restaurant and have a bad experience, it's okay to let people know that you've had a bad experience, so they will get to make the choice not to go there. But, you know, be selective on how you spread that voice, you know. That's
Greg, somebody on here, Vel Lopez is writing on here. She says, we need to be praying for all of our leadership. I would say, Vel, you know what? I think we should be praying for the people in the country, and that we would have the balls to do what needs to be done. Not that you can't pray for leaders in the country, but maybe the leaders in the country you're praying for are actually the people, because the Constitution starts off with we the people, not we the legislature, not we the Congress, not we the Senate, not we the president, not we the corporations, not we the unions. It says we the people. So if we're going to pray for somebody, I'd be praying for the people of this country, that we could stand up and do the right thing and work together and stop listening to all those other people that we have fallen for and believe are really there to guide us when they're not. We can guide ourselves. We just have to find the balls to do it.
You know, Rick, I'd like to address that too. We need to do more than pray. I have, you know, a lot of my friends that are very, very faith-based, and that's their solution for everything is pray. And, you know, it don't matter which religion you belong to. I'll use Christianity as an example. You know, God told you to not just sit back on your laurels. You know, you got to put a little bit of work in yourself, you know. And praying is fine, but we can't rely on pray. We got to actually go out and make a difference ourselves, you know. Doing stuff like this where you're getting opinions out there is, you know, something that will help. And you can continue to pray. You don't stop praying,
right?
But do something.
Yeah, you're not discounting praying. What you're saying is, I think a lot of times people of different faiths get back and they go, well, I'm praying about it. And it's like, well, you know what? Love is an action word. So love and faith and community, they're all action words. So you can't just pray as an action. I get that. But I don't think God would ever say to people, or Muhammad, whatever people believe, I don't think he'd ever say to people to sit back, okay, just pray and then move on. I think you got to take action and do some things.
I agree.
Hey, Gregory, I got to go. Guess where I'm going?
I just wanted to say hi.
I got to go. Guess where I'm going?
Where are you going?
I'm going to go pitch a show to a sanitary company, an outhouse company.
Yeah.
That will be just about like this, called The Buck Stops Here.
Nice,
where
nice.
People crawl into an outhouse with me, and they get to rant for 1 minute.
Awesome.
And then I hand them a piece of toilet paper and say, the buck stops here.
What are you doing after that? You want to grab some lunch later?
Then I'm doing a Raptor store. I'm going to the Cascade Raptor Center, the Wild Birds.
Nice.
With Lane County, with them. But let's do next week.
Okay.
Let's figure out our show. Okay.
Sounds good, buddy. Take it easy.
All right. See you, buddy.
Bye.
Ignore the naysayers.
Always.
Okay. See you. Bye.